Hello everybody, welcome to another video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I always talk about different stories from the rich Star Trek universe. 30 years and a bunch of weeks ago the next episode of Star Trek The Next Generation premiered. It was called Emissary, and these are my honest opinions about it. First of all, the title is slightly confusing. This video is going to be about the Next Generation episode called Emissary, and not the Deep Space Nine pilot episode called The Emissary. This one is a romantic story, and if you watch my videos regularly, you know what I think about romantic stories, unless they are a B-plot in a more interesting story. This one, well, let's see. The episode starts with a poker game. It's a nice tradition which was started earlier this season, and unfortunately it wasn't used more often. These poker scenes are actually a very efficient way how to tell us something about the characters. A pity that the new Star Trek shows don't have something equivalent to this. The game is unfortunately interrupted. It's time to work for a while. The ship is contacted by not Admiral Nechayev, who instructs them that they should pick up a special emissary, who is traveling to them inside a special probe capable of flying with Warp 9. When they beam the probe on ship, they find something what they definitely didn't expect: a young woman named Kayla, which was always a bit confusing to me, like many other things in this episode. In every version I heard, her name was pronounced the same way as the Kayla, which was either the name of the race or the warrior from the cage, and she also is very obviously played by Susie Plexon, which can be pretty distracting if you rewatch the series from the start. The thing is that a few episodes ago, Susie played the Vulcan doctor Sailor, a character which we have seen just once but was referenced in a few more episodes. She is also half human and half Klingon. Not only it means that a human woman had sex with a Klingon man, it also means that species who look very differently are biologically compatible. And of course, I have a problem with this as a person who cares about canon. Until this episode, we were led to believe that Worf is special. We were told that he was the only Klingon in the Federation, and his existence was very important. He was, as a child, saved by his enemies, humans. But now we are told that there is a half Klingon who also works for the Federation, and she and Worf knew each other 6 years ago. I don't know, but I have a slightly little problem with this. But anyway, Worf doesn't want to be anywhere near her, and it's suggested that they had a romance going on 6 years ago, but they now have to work together to find a solution to a very dangerous problem. The Klingon High Council has received information that a Klingon battlecruiser IKS Tong, which was launched on a deep space mission decades ago, back when humans and Klingons were still at war. This ship is now coming back home, and the computer is ready to wake up the hibernated crew. Crew, which after they will wake up from their decades-long sleep, will be surrounded by unarmed Federation outposts. From their point of view, the war still continues, which means that they will certainly destroy all of the outposts. Kayla wants to kill the Klingon crew directly, which is not acceptable by Picard or Worf, so their first cooperation ends up with her going to her quarters. And when we see her walk, I noticed something again. She doesn't really walk like a Klingon, she walks like a model on a catwalk. I would really prefer if they did cast some other actress. I have nothing against Susie personally, she was a very attractive woman, and her performance during the more emotional scenes later is really good, but she doesn't look the part. She's too girly, if you know what I'm trying to say. It's a pity that Lucy Lawless wasn't a known actress in the 80s or somebody like her. I mean, she would be perfect for the role, in my humble opinion. I mean, even look for the scene in which she's supposed to break a glass table. She is visibly afraid that she will hurt herself. Anyway, when Deanna sees her in her emotional state, she recommends her to use one of Worf's holodeck programs. So we finally see the program from earlier this season, after she slaughters some holographic monsters, one of them looking like a stereotypical Hollywood representation of a homeless man, and one looking like Skeletor from the He-Man franchise. Worf joins her and they slaughter some more monsters together. And then they mate. Because fucking surrounded by corpses of monsters is probably the most romantic thing the Klingons can imagine. After that, Worf starts to say a vow of marriage, but Kaler is not interested, continuing their personal conflict. So when they want to continue working, Worf takes Data as his personal chaperone/bodyguard, but they can't come up with a plan soon enough. The Tonk is suddenly in front of the Enterprise and starts to fire at them, meaning that they came too late, the crew woke up already, and since they're all woke now, they will destroy all humans they see and then brag on Twitter how virtuous they are. So what now? They have to really improvise, and they do so. So when the captain of the Tonk appears on the Enterprise's view screen, he sees something he didn't expect. A bridge crew of humans, commanded by Worf and Kaler in proper Klingon uniforms. Worf informs the captain that the war is over. He doesn't want to accept this as even a slight possibility, but after Worf threatens to destroy the ship, he suddenly surrenders. I don't truly understand why. He's a Klingon warrior, commanding a ship of Klingon warriors on a mission where he was expected to kill or get killed. Why is he suddenly afraid to die in such a way? Shouldn't he want to die in a fight with his enemy? But I'm not a Klingon expert, I just like them, at least the version which we have seen in the 80s and the 90s. Is there any Klingon expert watching this? Let me know if his behavior is normal or not. After the captain agrees to surrender, Worf decides to send him Kaler, who will take command of the ship and prepare them for life in the 24th century. Yes, let the woman who wanted to kill them in their sleep the whole time to lead them. What could possibly go wrong, right? Picard returns to the bridge and congratulates Worf, who decides to beam Kaler personally. And in the transport room, we're told that they actually do love each other, because that was the most important thing in this episode. But they can't be together because this is a soap opera suddenly, or something. So, I really like these episodes, let's call it atmosphere. It feels like I'm watching a group of friends and not a weird group of weird characters. The intro with the poker game wouldn't work on most of the shows, but it works on the Next Generation. I like Susie Plexan, I just think she wasn't the correct person for this specific role. I don't like her relationship with Worf, even though both of the actors are doing great work. It just doesn't work for me. I don't really care about the soap opera writing. The subplot with the Klingons is great, I would love to see more of it, instead of scenes of Kaler and Worf arguing. Other than that, it's one of the better episodes. It's certainly entertaining enough for me to want to see it again. On my standard scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is complete garbage, 10 is a masterpiece, and 5 is just average, I would give this episode 7 out of 10. It's definitely above average, especially compared to most of the Season 2 episodes, but could be much better. Anyway, as always, these were just my opinions. Let me know what did you think about this episode. Did you love it, hate it, or did you think it's just average? Let me know in the comments section, and I have to prepare for a video about the next episode called Peak Performance. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye.